Greetings, wise viewers. Welcome to the world around us. Let us take a walk through a beautiful sunlit forest. Breathing deeply, let us feel the presence of the tall regal trees and feel closer to nature herself. A sense of peace and quiet envelops us. From the Osogbo Sacred Grove in Nigeria to thousands of woodlands in India, each associated with a Hindu god across the world's cultures, forests have been special places for communing with the spiritual realm. The world's mythologies and ancient spiritual beliefs have indicated that forests are living temples, ideal for conducting rituals as well as taking refuge. In the past, Japan's sacred woods were associated with Shinto's shrines. Her giant trees were referred to as Yori Shiro, meaning a place where the gods could draw near. Woods were feared as awesome places to be worshipped and never harmed. The woods, the Japanese have believed, brought blessings to people. In the Jomon era, over 10,000 to 300 BC, these sacred places were the sites for meetings between gods and humans. Trees bore significant importance to the Celtic priesthood, or the Druids, who would often meditate or hold ceremonies at trees and in the woods. Some modern scholars, as well as classical Roman and Greek authors, believe the name Druid in Celtic translates into one with knowledge of the oak or wise person of the oak. Possessing the knowledge of the oak tree meant one had the knowledge of all trees. In Druid tradition, another tree, the yew, stood for sacred mystery. Yew trees were often planted in sacred sites, such as wells, hilltops, and burial grounds. The yew tree appears on the coat of arms of Vertou, France. Around 577, Saint Martin of Vertou, a hermit and abbot, withdrew into a spiritual retreat on the banks of the Sèvres Nanterre River. While the area was a wasteland at the time, more and more people came to visit him, drawn by his holiness. He eventually built a church and enlarged his hermitage, which became Vertou Abbey. Legend has it that he planted his pilgrim's staff in the middle of the abbey courtyard, where it took root and blossomed into a yew tree that grew for centuries. Since the tree has been revered as sacred, and it is said that no one dared to touch it, even birds refrained from eating the tree's berries. The princes of Brittany are also reputed to have offered their prayers beneath the tree before entering the church. Sacred trees have also graced the history of ancient Greece. In Epirus of northwestern Greece was the sanctuary of Zeus at Dodona, the site of the oldest Greek oracle. Here, priestesses named Pleiades or doves interpreted the voice of the oracle by listening to the sounds of the sacred oak tree and the sounds of the doves. The Pandroseum, near the temple Erechtheion on the Athenian Acropolis, is home to the sacred olive tree of Athena. The tree was reputedly planted there by the goddess Athena herself. It is said that when the Acropolis was burnt down, olive tree included, in 480 BCE, the tree sprouted a new branch measuring approximately 120 centimeters long the next day. Throughout history, every time the tree has been cut down, someone has managed to save a sprig to replant it later, the most recent instance being in 1952. Not only in myth, but in religion, trees have held a special place as symbols of wisdom and the divine. A few examples include the Tree of Knowledge in Judaism and Christianity, the Bodhi tree under which the Lord Buddha was enlightened, and the banyan tree, whose leaf is where Lord Krishna or Shiva rests, symbolizing the workings of the universe. In Europe, The beauty of the forest has sparked the imagination and a cast of magical forest-dwelling creatures. One of the continent's most famous forests is the Black Forest of Germany. The name Black Forest comes from the thick foliage of the fir and pine trees that block the light from entering the forest's interior. The Black Forest has come to be the setting for fairy tales, including many by the world-famous Grimm brothers. In addition, there are many interesting monasteries and churches on the peaceful rolling hills of the Black Forest. The forest here, as in so many cultures worldwide, has been a sanctuary away from the mundane world for renunciates to meditate on God. Trees are among the oldest living beings on Earth. Imagine having been alive centuries before time as we know it today was measured by the ancient Babylonians. Imagine watching the coming and going of civilizations, the birth of world religions. And imagine being alive still today, bearing witness of all that is happening on Earth. The world's oldest known living tree is a 4-meter tall conifer in Sweden. It first took root at the end of the last ice age, nearly 10,000 years ago. The visible portion is not ancient, but the amazing root system is. What is the secret to the tree's longevity? It is the ability to renew itself in parts, replacing roots or trunks that have died with new ones. In addition, many trees have the ability to protect themselves from bacteria or parasites. This is Pando, a colony of quaking aspen trees in Utah, USA. Spanning over 105 acres, Pando is made of stems that are genetically identical, all sharing a single root system. The Pando woodland is at least 80,000 years old, when our human ancestors may have still been living in Africa. Some, however, estimate that the colony could be as ancient as 1 million years. The bristle cone pine trees do not even age. At 3,000 plus years, they thrive and grow just like a 100-year-old counterpart. One famous bristle cone pine is called Methuselah, 4,765 years old, a witness of the building of the first pyramids in Egypt. Methuselah, located in Inyo National Forest in California, USA, is a member of a grove called the Forest of Ancients. To protect this ancient of ancient trees, the Forest Service authorities keep Methuselah's exact whereabouts secret. Then there is the 4,000 to 4,500-year-old cypress in Yazd, Iran, called Savi Abaku, also known as the Zoroastrian Sav. At 25 meters tall and 11.5 meters going around the trunk, the beautifully shaped Savi Abaku was alive at the time that Stonehenge was being completed. There are dozens of other known living trees that are thousands of years old. Japan's Jomonsugi tree, situated in Yakushima, could be up to 7,200 years old. One of Europe's oldest known living trees is the Fortingall yew at a churchyard in Perthshire, Scotland, the United Kingdom. In Wales stands yet another of the world's oldest individual living organisms, the Llywelyn yew, believed to be aged between 4,000 to 5,000 years old. It is no wonder that yew trees are regarded as symbols of longevity. In a grove within the famous Andes Mountains, we find the Alerce tree, whose exact age found in the tree rings was scientifically calculated to be 3,620 years old. General Sherman is the affectionate name of this towering giant sequoia. Not only is it incredibly as tall as a 27-story building, but it is also an amazing 31 meters around, making the General the world's largest tree by volume. Sequoias resist decay and even fire marvelously. Their sap contains tannic acid, which is known to help both tree and human alike to heal. Giant sequoias grow in groves, a council of wise beings. Forests are the source of nature's medical remedies. In the vast Amazon rainforest, medicine men still use plants from the forest to cure others of rheumatism, mental illness, and other ailments. The indigenous people also have an invisible relationship with the forest as well. One Amazonian medicine man explained, "Few people can hear the messages from the forest which come out at night. The sound wakes me up and then I hear the message. Other messages come in my dreams. The plant appears like a real person, but with a more pure skin. This way, the plants come and ask me not to be rough with them." Medicine men should be very alert and listen to the messages from the plants. Physically, forests play a vital role on Earth as givers of oxygen, regulators of the climate, storehouses of water, and excellent absorbers of planet-heating greenhouse gases. Spiritually, they give something precious as well. When walking through the woods, one cannot help but to feel the gentle yet powerful energy of the flora and fauna around them. As an esteemed psychologist once described it, trees in particular were mysterious and seemed to me direct embodiments of the incomprehensible meaning of life. For that reason, the woods were the place that I felt closest to its deepest meaning and its awe-inspiring workings. Can life's deepest meaning and essence truly be found in the forest? During an August 2009 video conference with Supreme Master Television's staff in the United States, Supreme Master Ching Hai shared some insight as to why forests give us feelings such as serenity and purification.
The trees who perished by helping humankind, by shading the hot planet, will go straight to heaven, of course. In each tree, there's a soul, and that soul will go back to where it comes from.
Master, yes. I just want to recount an experience I had with the trees when I was in Belgium. I lived on around a farming area, and there were a lot of wooded patch areas. And one day I was walking through one of these wooded areas, and I felt that the trees in there was like alive, and the air was moist, and it felt like everything was alive, and it had a cleansing effect, because when I walked out, I felt like I just walked through a different dimension or something. And then I was like, wow. And well, and then I started looking out for more forest to walk in.
That's right.
Yeah,
yes. You did right. That's why a lot of people like to walk through the forest, yes?
Yeah.
In Chinese term, they call it like forest bathing. It's truly because they experience similar to what you experience. You know, like the cleansing effect of the trees. Not because of the oxygen that they emit, but the love from them. Because they never know any harm intention in their being. You see, all they have is love and protection. That's why you feel good. I'm glad you did.
May the precious forests and trees that bless our earth be preserved in peace for many more ages to come. Thank you, loving viewers, for your company today on The World Around Us. Coming up next on Supreme Master Television is Words of Wisdom after noteworthy news. May your life be like a refreshing stroll through a benevolent and pristine forest.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/WAU.